Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Reinvent Your Reality Podcast. My name is Jen. So happy you could join me here today on this beautiful day. And I wanted to talk about aging today and why we have so much trouble aging, or we devalue aging, I feel, in society. And we all know this. I mean, you look at magazines, look at television, everybody's getting Botox and, plumper things, filler and butt implants, and everybody's trying to look a certain way, right? I went through many, many years, as most women do, and men, trying to fit in, trying to get the perfect body, trying to look better than I look. And we all do it. We all do it, admittedly. You know, I used to buy fitness magazines galore and got really into health and fitness and used to want to look like the models in the fitness magazines. For a while, I had an obsession with wanting big muscles because I love muscles. I think muscles are very sexy. And I don't want to look like a pencil thin, noodle arm lady. I like muscles, I must say. So, I think we go through obsessions with body image and it shifts over time. And, when I was younger in my 20s, I just wanted to be thin, and then, I wanted to look strong, or I wanted to look this way and that way. And there's no problem with that. I mean, sure, we want to be healthy. We want to take care of our bodies. We don't want to, have issues with weight, because there's a lot of not only medical complications, but there's issues with just self-esteem and confidence and even stereotyping. If you're trying to get a job or something, who's to say, is the pretty girl going to get the job over the obese woman? Maybe so. I mean, it's out there, right? Stereotyping. But, this thing with aging and, how we've become to a point where old age is not valued. It's like you hit a certain age and then it's like we stick you in a home for you to just like rot until you die. I mean, that's an extreme example of it, but it's kind of true if you think about it, right? We don't value the wisdom that old people have. They're like, a person's going senile, or they're slowing down, or, they don't belong here in this group. So I don't know what the prime age is really for beauty, but it's probably between 20 and 35, 20 and 40. I don't know. We keep getting, the age keeps going up, and we keep, I guess we're at a point where we accept older age now. But there's a certain point where somebody gets too wrinkly and we're like, no, they're not beautiful anymore. But this is where I want to talk about primarily today, not just the vent session about culture and society and, just superficial stuff. But how like ancient medicine, I'll take the example, Chinese medicine. Now I'm studying Chinese face reading. And the lines on the face and every wrinkle and every line and every blemish or discoloration tells you about your life. And when we see wrinkles on our face, I mean, I have wrinkles on my forehead that I don't like. I can't get rid of them. They're there, but they're telling me that I learned a lesson. And this is what I'm learning. This is what I have learned over the past year or so is, the more marks on the face, the more somebody has lived. The more these lines on the face tell you a lot about yourself and what you've been through and the lessons that you've learned in life. For example, lines that cross the center of the forehead means you learned a lesson at that particular age in your life. If they don't cross, then you haven't learned the lesson. Now, maybe you don't believe in this. Maybe you think that it doesn't make sense. But think about it. Think about all the things in your life that you've been through and all the lessons you've learned, and trying to just cover that up or Botox it out and smooth everything out and pretend that those things didn't happen. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be wrinkly and old and looking and shriveled up like a prune, but I'm just saying maybe we could accept aging a little bit more if we shifted our perception on what age looks like in the first place, or how these lines or these wrinkles or, the markings on our skin, what they tell us about ourselves, rather than just seeing them as disgusting, right? We think of saggy, saggy lines and discolorations as disgusting. Well, why? Why? Why do we have to be all one color, right? Why can't we have some variety in our look? Why do we all have to look the same? Why do we all have to look flawless? I have a pet peeve with like my face looking shiny. And so when I'd be at work or something, I'd have powder with me because I wanted that matte look. I didn't want a shiny nose. Why? I thought it looked ugly to have a shiny nose because it looked like oily or something. It's so stupid, right? Like somebody was going to look at me and say, oh, her nose is so shiny. No. So it's our self-perception, where we want the perfect skin and we get Botox where we have no expression on our face. But it's our expressions that make us who we are. It's the lines and the wrinkles and all the things that we considered flawed that make us who we are. That let us or allow us to look back on the lessons and the things that we've learned in life and say, wow, I went through that. I'm not trying to erase it. I went through that and I learned from it. So, the ancient Chinese, for example, they're very wise people and they value the elderly very much so because the elderly had a lot of wisdom in them. They weren't just stuck in a home. Right? It's a moneymaker. Let's put all the old people in a home right now and make money off of it, right? Look at all the past few years, right? The assisted living facilities and things that are popping up. People are living longer, but is the quality of life better? That's a good question. We all want to live longer, yet we don't want to get old. I don't understand that. We all want to live longer and we thank modern medicine for that, but we don't want to get old because old is disgusting. See the irony in that? It's kind of backwards, don't you think? I think so. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just want to say, when you look in the mirror and you see flaws and you see things that are wrong with you and you see wrinkles you don't like, maybe try shifting the perspective on it and say, what is this wrinkle telling me? What is this line across my forehead telling me about myself? Is it telling me that I've been angry all my life? Is it telling me that I've been through a lot? That I've been stressed and now I'm over the point and I can learn from these things? Or do I want to go about my life so emotionless where I can't even move my face and just look like everybody else? Look like everybody else. This is what they Photoshop in the magazines, right? Because God forbid somebody have, I don't know, like a mole or a sunspot, but hey, this is reality. This is what people actually look like. And we know that people actually look like this, yet we don't want to see it in our magazines because it disgusts us for some reason. We don't want to see somebody who has a stomach roll in a fitness magazine. Of course not. We don't want to see that in any magazine, right? We are shifting, though. We are shifting a little bit where the plus size models or the so-called plus size models are now, average size. I mean, they're not even overweight. They're just average. I mean, look at like somebody like Marilyn Monroe or people years ago. The women had they were very shapely. They weren't skinny. They weren't size 2. They weren't size 2. They were probably like our plus size models that exist now in magazines. So you all know this. We know it's skewed, but I just want to bring the awareness to everything that you feel is flawed about yourself is only because you've been culturally conditioned all your life, no matter what. And you could say, I accept myself, but there's times, I guarantee you probably look in the mirror and you look at the flaws more than what's beautiful about you. And I want to start changing that. I want to shift that. And it doesn't just start with me, it starts with you recognizing yourself and focusing on the things that make yourself beautiful. And it's not just your exterior layer, because you have a body, but you're not your body. You're what is underneath or coming through the body. It's the light that you're sending out. So if you're sending out, vibrations, insecurities, and self-defeating attitude and fear and hatred and all these things because you've been conditioned to feel a certain way or have low self-esteem, that's not you. That's not the real you. That's all I'm saying. Starts from the inside out, right? Starts from the inside out. Anyway, thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. If you want more episodes, you could check me out. All the links are in my description bio below. You can go to my website, www.jenpalco.com. I have a YouTube channel. I put out weekly videos for you. It's under Jen Palco. Also, the links are in the description below. My new book is out on my website, but also Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. It's called 12-Step Guide for the Self-Help Book Addict. So if you're a self-help addict, this book is a great guide, easy read to kind of get you shift your mindset a little bit, okay? It's not for you to do boring exercises that you won't do. It's to shift yourself and make you think about your life a little bit differently. Some esoteric ideas in there and things that I've picked up along the way from my own issues of self-acceptance and self-love and getting to a place of feeling whole and not looking so much on the external, but more from the internal. So have a great day. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you on the next podcast. Peace.